By virtue of the authority conferred on me as Vice-Chancellor, I constitute this Assembly a congregation of the University of Cape Town.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to invite Uyama Botha, Deputy Secretary General of the Student Representative Council, to read the university dedication.
At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life, and to address the challenges of a society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom and responsibility, and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our founders, benefactors, and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those of you who will graduate today, we wish courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by those values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond. A love of truth and of learning. And at this, our university. Diabolel.
Please be seated. Gaudeamus and the national anthem were performed by the singers from the UCT Opera School. They were accompanied at the organ by Eric Dippenaar. The medley of South African music was performed by Amma Ambush. I think we can give them another hand of applause. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on this auspicious and joyous occasion on behalf of the University of Cape Town. Graduations are joyous affairs for everybody, the graduates themselves, their parents, family and friends, and the staff who also teach them and who in many other ways support them through their study at the university. For everybody then, it is a day marked by a sense of achievement and an atmosphere of celebration. For many in the audience today, the event marks the culmination of a great deal of hard work and in many cases sacrifice. For a country like ours, at this particular stage in its social development, there will be many here who are the first to obtain a university education in their family or their village, their church or their mosque. The fascinating thing about graduation is that the outpouring of joy is the same for these students and parents as for those with many generations who have gone through UCT. UCT strives to contribute to this development by conferring not just a degree, but one embedded in a set of values that hopefully will set our graduates apart. Those are the values of critical inquiry and the receptiveness to alternative ideas that it engenders, service and social responsiveness, and obviously very importantly, that of integrity. These are going to be particularly important for the graduates in the coming years. So ladies and gentlemen, to all of you, hearty welcome. Vice-Chancellor, the election to a fellowship is a singular honor recognizing original and significant contribution to knowledge. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for a fellowship of the university, Gregory Hussey, Professor in the Division of Medical Microbiology. Vice-Chancellor, Greg Hussey has made significant original scientific contributions in the field of infectious diseases over the past 25 years. First, in a landmark trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 1990, he demonstrated that the treatment with vitamin A reduces morbidity and mortality in children with measles. This simple intervention has saved the lives of countless children with severe measles all over the world. He has also made important contributions to the optimal diagnosis and outcome of lung infection in children. He has demonstrated that the routine use of chest radiography is not beneficial in children aged over 2 months with acute lower respiratory tract infection, that induced sputum provides a better and more convenient specimen for bacteriological confirmation of pulmonary tuberculosis in HIV-infected and uninfected children than gastric lavage. The focus of his work over the past 15 years has been on the development of an effective vaccine against tuberculosis. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to invite you to award a fellowship of the university to Gregory Dudley Hussey. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, for a fellowship of the University, Naomi Levitt, Professor in the Division of Endocrinology and Diabetology in the Department of Medicine. Vice-Chancellor Dinky Levitt, as she is known, is a clinical diabetologist and endocrinologist who has led epidemiological studies on the prevalence of diabetes and more recently other cardiometabolic disease risk factors, which has informed the National Burden of Disease estimates for South Africa and the International Diabetes Federation Atlas. She seeks to better understand diabetes and related cardiovascular disease risk factors in our country and to improve primary health care delivery for people with these chronic conditions. A most notable recent work characterizes the intersection between infectious and chronic disease burden in South Africa. She has led amongst the largest detailed studies to document the interaction between HIV/AIDS and diabetes in the region. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to invite you to award a fellowship of the University to Naomi Charlene Levitt. Vice-Chancellor, the University's Distinguished Teachers Award, given only once to an individual, recognizes teaching at any or all levels by a member of the faculty who has made a significant and lasting impression on students. It acknowledges the primary place of teaching and learning in the work of the university and marks sustained excellence in teaching. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the Award of Distinguished Teachers Award for 2014, Delaware Khan, Professor and Head of Department of Surgery. Vice-Chancellor, Del Khan is a world-renowned liver and kidney transplant surgeon who is dedicated to undergraduate and postgraduate teaching because he believes in the development of young people and young minds. He has brought new approaches to the teaching of medical registrars who now have a 95% success rate in the college examinations. His goal is to contribute to the development of surgeons who will not only provide excellent patient care, but also obtain a deep sense of satisfaction in the performance of their surgical duties. It is his love for teaching and interacting with young people that led to the formation of the UCT Surgical Society, which embraces students from the first to the final year. His friendly approach has endeared him to students and staff at every level of training, and it is rumored that his teaching takes place not only in the classroom, wards and operating theatres, but also on the golf course. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the award of Distinguished Teachers Award for 2014, Delaware Khan. Vice-Chancellor, I'm going to call on Del Khan to give the graduation address. Del?
Distinguished faculty, proud parents and the class of 2016. 2014, sorry. That's the bad news for you guys. My colleagues here have been extremely worried about how long I'm going to be speaking for. The secret of a good graduation address is to keep it as short as possible. And the dean has only given me 10 minutes, so I'll have to stick to that. There's not much you can say in 10 minutes. Now, the dean tells me that this class is the best class that there has ever been in the history of the health sciences faculty. Actually, that's not really true, but I had to say something like that. I just made that up because I had to say something like that because the Vice-Chancellor's daughter's in your class, and I had to say something like that. But I know a lot of you have been thinking that it's just so wonderful that it's all over. There's no more studying, no more assignments to do, no more lectures, no more tutorials, and that you finally reach the end. But I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news that this is not the end. It's actually only the end of the beginning. Because tomorrow, or on the 1st of January, all of you will be embarking on this journey of being a healthcare professional. The good news is that it's a wonderful journey. It's a long journey. It's a journey that we've all taken and have thoroughly enjoyed. Now, being a healthcare professional means different things to different people. Some people regard being a healthcare professional as having a career. And then there are other people, other healthcare professionals, who regard it as a job. There's a very big difference between having a career and having a job. I think I've been blessed with having a career. I've got a career as a transplant surgeon. Somebody with a job is doing it purely for the money. If you need cash, you get yourself a job. People who have a career thoroughly enjoy what they do. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. Surgeons in generally regard themselves as having a career. A surgeon who can operate till 10 o'clock at night, every night, will do so. If a surgeon could operate 7 days a week, he would do so. Somebody with a job is just doing it. They don't particularly like what they're doing, but they're doing it because they need the money. So I hope most of you will be blessed as I've been in having a career. Now, what exactly does a healthcare professional do? And if you had to ask 10 people what do healthcare professionals do, you'd probably get 10 different answers. And so I'm going to give you my version of what I think you as healthcare professionals should be doing in the future. And the first thing, the number one thing, the foremost thing, is that you'll be treating patients. It's all about patients. At any one time, the individual patient sitting in front of you is the most important thing. Whether it's Mrs. Jones with her pneumonia, or Mr. Dlamini with his cellulitis, or Mr. Peterson with his gastric cancer, that person at that time is the most important thing to you. I know there's some of my colleagues on the stage, they call them public health specialists. They might think differently, but take it from me, it's about the patient. The second thing that you do as a healthcare professional is to teach. It's interesting that the word doctor, if you look up the word doctor in the dictionary, it means to treat patients. But the word doctor is derived from the Latin docere, which means to teach. And so you're going to be expected to do both of those. And even as an intern next year, or as a physio, or OT, or speech therapist next year, there will be people that you'll be teaching. If you're in a teaching hospital, there would be medical students that you'll be teaching. But if not, there are nursing staff and other people in the area that you're working that you will be teaching. So teaching is extremely important. The third thing is research. And I noticed on the oath that you took on Friday that research actually comes quite low down. But research is one of the most exciting things that you'll be doing as a healthcare professional. The opportunity to question what you do, to question well-known dogma, to be innovative, to discover new things, it's the most wonderful thing that you as a healthcare professional can do. And then, as a result of the research, the opportunity to present your research at international meetings, which results in giving you the opportunity to travel. And most of us sitting on the stage have traveled extensively and have seen virtually every corner of the world. And during your travels, you get to meet wonderful people and you make friends that are lasting forever. So those are my kind of take on what it means to be a healthcare professional. And so I wish you well on this journey of being a healthcare professional. I hope that you all have a career as I've been blessed to have. Now, no talk by a transplant surgeon from Cape Town would be complete without a reference to Chris Barnard. And so I'm going to conclude by telling you a story about Chris Barnard. There are actually many stories about Chris Barnard, and I've got two that I want to tell you, but time doesn't permit me to tell you the second one. But if you do want to hear the second one, when I finish the first one, if you all stand up, applaud loudly, and shout encore, the Vice-Chancellor might allow me to tell you the second story. So the first story is about Chris Barnard and the chauffeur, and I apologize to my colleagues on the left here who've probably heard the story before, but it's a great story, and I love telling it. So Chris Barnard, you people weren't born when Chris Barnard did the first heart transplant in 1967. And Chris Barnard became very famous. Groote Hospital became very famous. The University of Cape Town became famous as a result of that first heart transplant. In fact, for many years since then, when you spoke about Cape Town and South Africa, people thought overseas about the first heart transplant. We've only just moved out of that legacy, and South Africa is better known for other things nowadays, things like crime and corruption, and the place you go to have your wife murdered if you wanted to. Yeah. But in those days, we were known for the first heart transplant, and Chris Barnard became very well known after he did the first heart transplant. He became a celebrity, and he was invited to give talks all over the world, internationally, but even in South Africa as well. He was invited to give talks nationally and even locally in Cape Town and in areas around Cape Town. And the talks he gave in Cape Town and around Cape Town, he normally did it after hours. So he would do a day's work and then drive to the venue and give a lecture. And this kind of took its toll, and he actually became a bit tired of this, and he complained to the University of Cape Town. And the University of Cape Town in those days were not sympathetic to the doctors, and they just said, look, it's part of your job. He then complained to the provincial government, and they were a bit more sympathetic. And so they gave him a driver to drive him to the various venues. And obviously, while they were driving to the various venues, they spoke about heart transplantation. And in fact, during the lecture also, the driver would be sitting at the back, and he heard things about heart transplantation, about the indications, the technical aspects, complications, and the results of heart transplantation. And he actually became quite knowledgeable about heart transplantation. And the story goes that one day they were driving to this venue outside of Cape Town, and Chris Barnard said to the driver, you know, I'm feeling very tired after a day's work, and I really don't feel like giving this talk tonight. So the driver said, look, why don't we change places? I'll go and give the talk, and you can sit and relax in the back. You must remember this was in 1967. Television only came into South Africa in 1976, so the chances are that in this town outside of Cape Town, they probably didn't recognize what Chris Barnard looked like. And so he thought, look, this might work. So they got to the outskirts of the town, and they changed jackets. The driver put on the suit jacket, and Chris Barnard put on the white driver's jacket. And they went in, and Chris Barnard sat at the back, and the driver gave this talk. And he spoke about the indications for heart transplantation, the technical aspects, complications, the results, gave this wonderful talk. And it just so happened that on that evening, Michael DeBakey, who was a famous American heart transplant surgeon, happened to be in the audience. And Michael DeBakey got up and he asked this incredibly complicated question about interleukin-2 receptors in rejection and the treatment thereof. And Chris Barnard realized that this is going to be a disaster. The driver is going to make a fool of himself, and the whole charade would be found out, and Chris Barnard's name would be mud. And he was just about to own up to this when the driver started speaking. And the driver said, I recognize you. You're Michael DeBakey, the famous heart surgeon from America. He'd obviously seen his picture in one of the journals in the office. He said, you're the famous surgeon from America. And he said, I'm really surprised that somebody as famous as you should ask such a stupid question. And then he said, just to show you how stupid the question is, I'm going to ask my driver at the back to answer the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that encouraging message, Professor Delcan. Thank you. You probably, during the course of this morning, you're going to hear a lot about distinctions, first-class honors, and you might not know exactly what it means. I just want to refer you in the program to page 5. There's a good explanation for each of those categories so that you can understand when the Dean announces a degree with distinction, with honors in first-class honors, what it actually means in terms of the performance of that specific graduate. Thank you.
By virtue of the authority conferred on me, I now admit to the degrees specified the candidates who are recorded as being in absentia. And I shall now admit to the degree specified the candidates that will be presented to me by the Dean.
I would like to invite all graduating students to stand and to make the faculty declaration on page 10 of the program with me. All members of the congregation who treat or who will be treating patients are invited to join in affirming or reaffirming their commitment to ethical patient care. This faculty declaration is a modernized version of the Hippocratic Oath and the Geneva Declaration of 1948, and it represents healthcare practitioners' dedication to the humanitarian goals of medicine, and this specific version was adopted by the faculty in 2009. So, at the time of being admitted as a member of the health profession, I solemnly pledge to serve humanity. My most important considerations will be the health of patients and the health of their communities. I will not permit considerations of age, gender, race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, disease, disability, or any other factor to adversely affect the care I give to patients. I will uphold human rights and civil liberties to advance health, even under threat. I will engage patients and colleagues as partners in healthcare. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. I will respect the confidentiality of patients, present or past, living or deceased. I will value research and will be guided in its conduct by the highest ethical standards. I commit myself to lifelong learning. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. You can sit down. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, for the higher certificate in disability studies, Kunjulwa Bikwana. Elvira Carmenita Davids. Funeka Glory Dayan. Nazneen Ely. Vuyokazi Godloza. Mary Ann Hazel. Naomi Hess. Louisa Jacobs. Nompumezu Jiba. Nontubeku Patricia Kamte. Vuyiswa Bridget Komani. Vuyokazi Vivian Lutkalo. Owetu Lucia Marawu. Vuyelwa Mavalantia. Ethel Joan Miakangama. Nomtandazu Natasha Morogweni. Nomfundo Ethel Matati. Nosipo Mayeki. No photo, Patricia Ntomi. Abia Runei. Elsie Ntombizetu Zikam. Koliswa Silamsi. Claudia Evelyn Swartz. Nomlandelu Patricia Toisi. Tandazwa Alicia Tole. Venetia Williams. Nomalinda Kailitole. Nomawetu Lucia Zito. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medicine, Ntabi Singh Rejoice Moi Loa. Ongaro Kerry Ann Veyi. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Audiology, Jody Vaughan, Africa. Fatima Ali. Jareth Noel Andreas. Nihad Biardin. Muniba Benjamin. Zama Pamela Chia. Tidoweli Denga. Bongile Langa. Chawen Lu. Zandile Tabile Makanya. Renilwe Tragi Mamugale. Sipi Sikwe Makwekwa. Philippa Jane Misplon. Mandisa Moyo. Notombenchle Nechangazi. Ongeziwe Mtotuka. Shanahay Lisa Ann Peterson. Marcy Jacqueline Reed. Nawabisa Carolyn Vulagenkele. Carrie Ann Youngman. Tankiso Zuma. for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy, Rizqua Armin. Emma Louise Brown. Cheryl Ann Charles. Dylan Dunster. Jean-Marguerite de Chazal. Caitlin Jean Dell. Lungili Zimkita Duniwa. Zaha Kira Ibrahim. Sarah Claire Gazette du Châtelier. Yunaisa Ghani. Rachel Louise Gibbers. Courtney Green. Leonie Lelani Hen. Julia Jane Hutton. Tayyiba Yassim. Kimberly Emma Jones. Sinobukle Anita Kanyile. Mamosa Lerato Kikine. Roxanne Noel Langdon. Jessica Ma. Amy Robin Maltby. Cara Bethia Mare. Priti Matabula. Gemma Ann Mattison. Talia Jane Mason. Danny Lee McMillan. Meninhle Priti Madluli. Samantha Megan Minar. Theoka Shernice Moodley. Bandile Mukhlari. Elowani Thelma Nachoba. Kirsten Ruth Prest. Nokotula Rendi Radebe. Danae Beth Rao. Yumna Razak. Sahara Sali. With distinction and recipient of the gold medal for the best achievement throughout the degree, Candace Lee Schneider. Robin Lee Stein. Rafilwe Mapitso Taisi. Julia Carol Toich. Francisca Paola Velasquez Turner. Rebecca Elizabeth Margaret Wallace. Melissa Joy Volskut. Amy Lisa Wingreen. Catherine Lindsay Wishart. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy, Simone Mary Abrahams. Gavaza Nkululeko Baloyi. Azanati Bontom. With distinction, Emma Kate Bennett. Darren Christopher Berry. Simangele Sarah Bela. With distinction, and the recipient of the gold medal for the best achievement throughout the degree, Gibwa Philippa Audrey Cole. With distinction, Nicole Lee Craddock. Hanuti Daji. Johannes Cornelius de Klerk. Mojapele Ndumisu Dlamini. Tanith Morel Drayden. Tasneem Ibrahim. Jody Amy Emery. Amy Ferreira. Cleopatra Fluriotis. Rahisa Ganti. Kelly Ann Houbrich. Michelle Hendricks. Stefan Herman Hofmann. Samia Jamudin. Sarah Jamudin. Olivia Alexandra Johnson. Katleho Maxwell Limakatso. Lungelo Mafuya. With distinction, Kaya Magata. Morris Itumuleng Malane. Sipe Sichle Maklana. Duncan George Miller. Sanele Majadu. Makobane Jason Mogashoa. Megan Johanne Music. Nolotando Nonkanyiso Mzobe. Zekona Njisane. Hayden William Pearton. Lauren Ann Porter. Amogelang Amanda Ramoluane. Itumeleng Rantsane. Debbie Lee Rigby. Kayla Ann Sami. Fatima Sidat. Itsen Shi. Rory Simpson. Regan Renee Smith. Pauline Steenkamp. Vatizwa Yolisa Nonkeba Tom. Margot Ailsa van den Bos. Tasneem van der Schijf. Helene Sophie Vogels. Anande Volskenk. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Speech Language Pathology, Lyndall Ann Abbott. Suzette Breinart. Inge Burger. Emily Bernadette Clark. Sitlelo Dibe. Jamie Lee Dupree. Robin Jill Everett. Sofia Valerievna Fatnev. Joanne Jagers. Sarah Jansen van Rensburg. Heidi Katharina Meyer. Julia Ann Munnock. Amazement Nemahungane. Chelsea Hardy Roy. Ufa Sali. With distinction and recipient of the gold medal for the best achievement throughout the degree, Gina Ruth Schreilet. Natalie Scholes. Cynthia Ngirazi Sibanda. Tamlin Siebritz. Storm Ashley Small. Tanith Shay Townley. Rebecca Faye Warner. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Zahir Abdurrahman. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Ridwan Abu Bakr. Alison Susan Adams. Mishka Adams. Stephanie Adolfo Ansong. Krishal Noluddin Adonis. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Yasmin Akolwaya. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Abbas Ali. With distinction in the preclinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Ayesha Ali. Melvin Felicity Amankra. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, recipient of the class medal for the highest performance in the final year and the gold medal for the best achievement throughout the degree, Gordon George Audley. With distinction in the preclinical examinations and the degree with honors, Sarvesh Balkaran. Samantha Jane Benningfield. Bronwyn Elizabeth Bosch. Nonkeba Boya. Julius Carl Bremer. Zenat Bull. Sarah Burton. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations, Nina Zia Karelse. Zakiti Anele Perfect Trele Muputweni. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Tinashe Brian Chandoka. Yu Ching Julianne Chang. Weihan Chen. Pumzile Sibenzile Chonko. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Robin Kluter. Simon Gregory Comley. Justin Louis Cupido. Muhammad Tayyib Daniels. Sharifa Bibi Daywood. Amy Jean Domingo. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations, with distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations, Jade Samantha Dreyer. Muhammad Tawhir Ibrahim. Rahis Ibrahim. Abdul Wahid Fakir. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Isabella Louise Fati. Manono Fokane. Sherry Lee Franks. With distinction in the preclinical examinations, Caitlin Victoria Gardner. Tando Anele Gunka. Julian Gelderbloem. Russell Kamau Gitinji. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Larissa Hemeraj. Pilile Donna Schlengwa. Alison Kirsten Himan. Muzamil Ismail. Sharon Israels. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Joseph Jacob. Sadiqa Yakut. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Helen Margaret Jansen van Rensburg Muirhead. Cleve Egon Jekyls. Jessica Lee Q. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Riaz Khan. Jemima Rebecca Alice Tendo Kiberiga. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Terry Ann Killingbeck. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and a degree with honors, Catherine Elizabeth Kirikovich. Linda Kolo. Natombe Zodwa Penelope Komeni. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, with distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and a degree with first-class honors, Luke Sebastian Kutschreuter. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Ian Fraser Lang. Babawa Lekezwa. Lawando Lenga. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and a degree with first-class honors, Amy Rose Lifson. Nicole Lowe. Nelisa Lusawana. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations, and the degree with first-class honors, Kathleen Olivia Lussey. Riatile Carven Mabe. Singita Decorate Mabunza. Tamsankoa Goodwill Mabuza. Deliza Dumisa Madinga. Kiara Bilwe Maklabane. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations, and the degree with honors, Leila Ahmed Mohamed. Danshiela Shari Makan. Sepiwe Sidwell Makanye. Asande Makunga. Melenkov Mpo Mkwarene. Mahratse Matibele Maleka. Masitembe Philip Mandla.
Neyameka Nongebu Mankobe. Boitumelu Esther Mashigo. Reboni Matabane. Metenjwa Mashlengi Matenjwa. Tahira Mayat. Nokotula Mbele. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations, and the degree with first-class honors, Michelle McNair. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations, and the degree with first-class honors, Tomi Azevedo Mendez. Tenyuku Stembiso Maslanga. Kabisa Maklatuzana. Ndumiso Pleasure Mshlongo. Rory Graham Mitchell. Fezile Tanda Makize. Noko Kanya Sitakozile Makize. Langa Letu Zinhle Mngoma. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Jeffrey Copano Modise. Chepo Nancy Mokaba. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Saxony Moorman. Tisetso Malesafa Mosefane. Zia Motala. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Kabelo Jerry Musi. Sizepiwe Yvonne Mayeni. Musa Ibrahim Nagia. With distinction in the clinical examinations, Karshan Naidu. Nikhil Sanjay Narain. Babawa Nedlebe. Globesile Nomfundo Nedlovo. Vusumusi Charles Nedlovo. Gugu Ndziba. Musa Jason Nguyen. Tatohatsi Albertina Nkoko. Nobuhle Bonkeka Nkosi. Krenashe Prudence Nkabeni. Saletseng Necheke. Lapelo Motsewarona Nechesi. Sive Lovemore Natunja. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations, Chido Matifatsa Nayatsambo. With distinctions in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Ashley Shireen Onofri. Surya Heloise Christine Opitz. Catherine Lee Ord. Masuda Palekar. Muhammad Yusuf Patel. Murray Lee Paulson. Lisa Jane Peralta. Ahamina Azabaripira Peterson. Fareen Petker. Cleo Sonia Lakshmi Maondo Pillai. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Pavalini Pillai. Sikanyiso Analesiwe Pona. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Jessica Posel Price. Marara Nontiat Yambo Radue. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Kumaran Ramzami. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Darren Ray Rattray. Lebuchang Audrine Rietsang. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, David Brian Richardson. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Emily Ann Richardson. Rupert Harry Robinson. With distinction in the preclinical and final clinical examinations, Megan Andrea Rogers. Tolakele Sabela. Muhammad Irfan Isop Saib. Firdaus Sali. Luke William John Sampson. Maxine Stephanie Sampson. Babawe Nonkeba Toyabu. Kolehu Charity Siabueng. Ahobakwe Robert Setlare. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Lisa Michelle Seymour. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Emily Mary Shires. Sempiwe Zoleka Shongwe. Pauline Mwimba Siame. Bianca Strachan. Krishna Sankur. Asha Mary Tombrayo. Tendo Patricia Chivaze. Kurai Valerie Tsoka. With distinction in the final clinical examinations, Mika Talakan. Ufewe Swabowe Tuzwa. Helene Sally Uriot. With distinction in the clinical and final clinical examinations and the degree with honors, Sarah Lee Urquhart. Tanita van Niekerk. Kelly Veldsman. Zinhle Vilakazi. With distinction in the preclinical, clinical, and final clinical examinations and the degree with first-class honors, Lauren Amy Vogelsang. Jessica Mary Westwood. Jenny Wickham. Jade Stephanie Wiener. Reese Alexander Williams. Nurain Yachad.
have the mic here? It seems to me we have some people who, for some inexplicable reason, are rather excited to get out of this place. They've been here for 4, 5, or 6 years, some for 7 or 8, and they've achieved amazing things. Let's give them a huge round of applause for what they've done. You graduates form part of a community that you joined today, a community of alumni that form the convocation of the university. There are about 150,000 living alumni all around the world. And as part of convocation, you play an important role in the future of this university. You contribute to maintaining the standards, to maintaining the spirit. You are our ambassadors wherever you work and live. You help elect our chancellor every 5 years or so. You also participate in the election of members of the council of the university, which is the governing body. So we take the contribution of convocation and alumni seriously. We will be ourselves traveling the country and the world to meet up with you and have reunions. And we want you to remain in touch with us and to remain proud of the University of Cape Town and part of the University of Cape Town. You are an alum, whether you like it or not, for life. We hope you will be really proud of us, and as we are of you. As Professor Peterson said when he introduced the ceremony, when you graduate from UCT, you graduate with a brilliant degree, a degree that's recognized all over the world. But what makes us really proud of you and the way in which you will be judged will not be by the technical knowledge you have, because that will rapidly be out of date. And you'll need to continue learning and continue updating. And when you work through your internships or your comm service or your future specializations, a lot of that will change. What won't change is the values that you've taken from being here at UCT. Values, we hope, which have persuaded you of the need to make a difference in the world, to be thoughtful about inequality and contribute to reducing that, to recognize that you are a tiny group that is incredibly privileged to have got a full and a high quality school education, to have been admitted into UCT, to have been admitted to very competitive degrees, to have received an outstanding education, to be graduating as well as you are, and that you have a duty to give back to society and in fact also to the university. Many of you have been on scholarships, and many of you have been supported through financial aid, and the only way that we could do that was because people who came before you have contributed to your financial well-being as students, and we hope in time that you will do the same for the students that come after you. And the values are also captured in the idea of healthcare, rehabilitation, and medicine as an art as well as a science. We have no doubt that you will have the knowledge that the science has offered. We also want to be sure that you have the art, that when you are stressed in a busy ward with sick patients and lots of work to do, and you have done your diagnosis and you have prescribed your treatment, you will also recognize that what the sick man, elderly man in the bed needs more than anything else is for you to help him sit up, to puff up the pillow and turn it over so that he can lie back on the cool side of the pillow, because it's that human touch, it's that personal connection that you make with your patients that is what's going to make all the difference to their lives. And I hope you will go from this education we have offered you to practice both the art and science and humanity of the healthcare professions. I'm sure that at this time of celebration, you know that it is also other people who have helped you get to where you are today. So I invite the graduates now to stand up and make eye contact with your loved ones in the audience, and take your scrolls and wave them and shout your appreciation to your families and your spouses and those who supported you. And I invite you also to show your appreciation to the members of faculty on the stage who have been teaching you for the last 4 or 6 years, and show them also that you recognize their contribution to your success. Every graduation I attend or officiate at gives me gooseflesh because of the distance that so many of you have come to get to this point. And I've met some parents who are in the audience who have never flown in an airplane before yesterday, coming to Cape Town. Some of whom have never seen the sea before, having come from remote rural villages. Some of whom have their children who are visiting the University of Cape Town for the first time and seeing this magnificent university, and then watching their children, their loved ones who they have sacrificed for, march across the stage and get their graduation. And this is really a fantastic achievement for all of you. So congratulations, and have a wonderful celebration after this.
So we've now come to the end of our ceremony, and we invite graduates and their families to a function in the Leslie building. So if you go out of the hall, down with a set of stairs into University Avenue, you will turn to the right, and it's probably the second last building on the right-hand side. There will you find the Leslie building. We also ask the graduates to join the procession as it leads to the hall, and I just would like to emphasize that we don't stand at the steps, but we go down right to University Avenue. The congregation is requested to remain standing until the procession has left the hall. And I'll now ask the Vice-Chancellor to dissolve the congregation. Can we invite everybody to stand?
Of the authority conferred upon me as Vice-Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape Town.